It's now 6:30. I'll go ahead and start this city council meeting of December 23rd. Could I have let's see, there was an executive session held in city council December 19th at 6 p.m. to discuss personnel matters. Could I have a roll call, please?
Councilperson Cosner,
Here.
Councilman Nestor by phone,
Present.
Councilperson Thomas,
Here.
Councilman Orchakowski,
Here.
Mayor Mosher.
Here.
Mayor, we note 4 present, 1 by phone. We note a quorum.
All right, thank you. Pastor Kuster is not available this evening. I'm going to ask Councilwoman Lois to lead us in prayer, please.
We all just bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Heavenly Father, we just thank you, Lord, for this day, how you watched over us and kept us throughout this day, and how you're going to continue to ask you that you be with us throughout this council meeting. Bind us all together on one accord, not just as a council, but as a city as a whole, that we make the best decisions to move the city forward. We ask that you give us peace and happiness and joy throughout this Christmas season, and everybody be blessed and safe. In Jesus' name we pray and thank you. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can sit, John.
Okay.
Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes, and can somebody make a motion to accept the minutes from November 25th?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of the previous session of November 25th, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski,
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes. At this time, I'd like to open the floor for public comment on agenda items only. Just wait a second.
Ernest Telegraphus. I don't know who to direct this one, but the WEC, $3,910,000. Do we have the money to pay for this? This is on page 2C.
That's a change order, and it raises it $11,000.
Okay, so it's an increase.
No, it's an increase in the contract value of $11,000. It's a change order, changing the contract price.
Well, I still don't understand. If the value went up,
Went up $11,000.
okay, that means our fees are going to go up next year?
No,
No?
no.
All right, then on page 3, this is for Tony. You got page 3A, we got 112,000. On D, we got 22,973. And then F, we got 66,429. Okay, when we add this all up, it comes close to $200,000.
Yeah,
Okay, do we have 200,000 to pay for these?
you wouldn't be paying for them if we did.
Well, I don't know, maybe,
Did you want to wait till my report at the end of my meeting?
yeah, okay, I just brought it up, that's all.
Okay.
And, the two advertising, why is there two advertising invoices for Menneson? Like, what does one have and the other one doesn't have? Who's gonna answer that? That's on the bottom of page 3.
G and H,
Yeah,
those are motions for the first or the second reading of the budget
And approval.
and approval.
yeah, but both of them are the same thing?
No, one's the
Okay.
budget, one's the millage,
Or millage?
the tax rate.
So our millage is gonna go up?
No, stays
Then-
the same.
It's the same. I don't know why we need approval for if it's the
You
same.
have to do it every year,
Yeah, even if it's the same.
even if it's the same.
Somebody else.
Okay. That's about it for now. Anybody else?
Spam.
Is there any correspondence anybody has to offer?
No, Mayor.
This time, I'd like to ask the solicitor for his report.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. You'll see on tonight's agenda is a resolution approving the tax anticipation note. The bank's council sent over all the documents. Some minor changes were made. There's a packet. Closing of this, I believe, will be at some point in the first week of January. I worked on a couple of CDBG engineering agreements with WEC. Some of the terms needed refreshed. Finally, participated in a conference call with Portnoy regarding delinquents garbage collection. A lot of these properties have already gone through the judicial process. Nobody just purchased those properties. There are a segment of those properties that are going through the legal process that haven't gone up for a tax sale yet. So the city's taking a look at which properties may have been demolished because they were old and which properties are vacant to get a good list of properties that'll be collectible. I think we're in the process of calling down that list. Other than that, I hope everybody has a good holiday. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have a report for the city treasurer?
He did submit one. Oh, here he is now.
Okay. We'll give him just a second to get seated and we'll get his report. Getting his report. It's Treasury office.
Hey, Chair.
Good evening. Just in time for your report.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Mayor, Council, and Citizen of Menneson, this is my report for November. Garbage fees revenue, garbage fees current. November, we received $5,130. Year-to-date, $347,275.14. Budget amount, $350,000. Garbage fees delinquent. November, we received $4,692.36. This also includes the amount collected by Portnoy of $1,237.36, and interest from Portnoy was 5 cents. Year-to-date delinquent, we received $49,093.62. This includes $19,465.91 from Portnoy in penalty and interest. Year-to-date, $1,072.51. Budget amount was $2,500. Collected for next year, garbage, $760. Budget amount, $150,000. Total for November was $9,822.41. November, $398,201.27. That was year-to-date, and the budget amount is $577,500. Real estate taxes, revenues. Current real estate taxes, November, we received $8,725.03. Year-to-date, $1,957,891.75. Budgeted amount, $1,600,000. City taxes, prior years collected by the city. We received nothing in November. Year-to-date, $22,044.74. Budget amount, $7,000. Subtotal year-to-date on city taxes is $1,979,936.49. Delinquent city taxes collected by Westmoreland County. We received nothing this quarter. Year-to-date was $241,174.29. Budget amount was $160,000. Year-to-date taxes collected, $2,221,110.78. Budget amount of $1,767,000. Distribution is as follows as of October 31st for 2024. General fund year-to-date, $1,377,441.85. Budget amount, $1,113,120. Debt service year-to-date, $373,812.03. Budget amount, $302,080. Library, $39,994.71. Budgeted amount, $32,320. Parks, $687,90. Budget amount, $152,480. Year-to-date distribution is $1,979,936.49. Budget amount was $1,600,000. Miscellaneous taxes collected. Real estate transfer tax received in November, $6,679.62. Year-to-date, $56,321.94. Budget amount, $89,333. Earned income tax. November, we received $85,892.55. Year-to-date, $682,743.49. Budgeted amount, $682,048. Mercantile tax. November, $1,210.62. Year-to-date, $20,036.88. Budget amount, $23,425. Local service tax. November, received $12,320.90. Year-to-date, $71,145.29. Budget amount, $71,072. Tax certification. November, we received $2,400. Year-to-date, $21,710. Budget amount, $20,000. Municipal lien letters. November, we received $2,400. Year-to-date, $14,100. Budget amount, $17,500. Line usage account. Received no unsecured payments for November. Year-to-date, $12,033 and no cents. Line usage fee. November received $65,393.82. Year-to-date, $831,589.79. For a total year-to-date, $843,622.79. Mayor, that concludes my report from the Treasurer's Department for the month of November.
Okay, thank you. Could somebody make a motion to accept that?
Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as stated.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski,
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes. At this time, we need our city controller report. Are you going to be in a position you can read that for us?
Me too.
Please do.
This is the Controller's Report for November 2024. A bank reconciliation as of November 2024 within the general fund of CFS Bank account, checking account. The beginning bank balance as of October 31st, 2024 was $582,545.98. There were deposits during this period of $201,409.65 and expenses during this period of $215,423.85. The ending balance as of November 29th, 2024 was $568,531.78. During this period, there were outstanding checks of $93,140.21. There were no outstanding deposits. which reconcile balance to the bank statement in the amount of $475,000, $391.57. That concludes the controller's report.
Thank you. This time, I'm going to recap some of the things that have taken place over the past few days since our last work session. This past Sunday, a week ago Sunday, so a little over a week ago, week and a day, a tree fell on Perenni, which ripped the power drop off the side of the city garage building, ripped it completely off the wall. When it did that, it must have been spectacular because there's enough arcs and sparks and everything else that was on the box that it required replacing. In order to keep the streets department functioning, I loaned a generator to the city. This required the city to install the necessary wiring to allow a generator to interface to the building. The generator provides enough power for the lights throughout the building and heat in the front part of the front gathering area. We rushed emergency PO through the system to get the power drop repaired. This was completed on Thursday of last week. Is Delmar here? He's not here. As far as I know, we are still to this day waiting on that power to be returned by West Penn.
They didn't come.
Did not come. I had a commitment from them this morning that they would be there. This is just absurd. So we're still running on generator power there. I loaned them the generator. There's no charge to that. I have no idea. The bill to repair the box was $8,000 or something. I don't remember the exact number. Something in that neighborhood. I met with Javin Alvey of Geomechanics to discuss some issues we're seeing up on Summit. Not only is this affecting residents, but it's also affecting the sidewalk and the road. In this next year, sometime early in January, I will continue working with them, and we'll see if we can come up with some funding in order to address some of the mine subsidence that we're seeing going on in that area. We met with the city engineer and discussed the possibility of merging Marion paving project with the proposed 9th Street project, thereby reducing the cost of minimizing mobilization of the equipment. The survey letters were sent to Marion on this project to see if it meets the LMI requirements. I don't know where this is going to go, but you don't know until you try. But hopefully we can get both Marion and 9th Street paved under the same contract. It'll greatly reduce the cost. We held a Menneson Town Hall meeting this past Wednesday. It was an opportunity to talk about some of the economic developments that we're pursuing. On Friday, we held our weekly status meeting in City Hall that continues to mature and will continue to get better. Later, you'll see a motion to accept Mark Coleman's retirement. I'm quite pleased to be able to offer this motion. He served 35 years with the city. We'll find out, but he went to work under Sapesky. He served 9 different administrators, 9 different mayors. That is remarkable. My hat's off to the man. With that said, would you read the rest of my motions, Lois?
Yes, I will. Good evening, everyone. Motion to approve resolution adopting the 2025 TAN tax anticipation note, awaiting approval by council for implementation with CFS Bank in an amount of $500,000 and at an interest rate of 6.25%.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski,
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Motion to approve WC Inc. change order number 1 for an increase in the contracting price from $3,910,058 to $3,922,714.14 for contractors project number 23-1077. Owner and engineers project number MON-2022-05. Proposed cost estimate for reinstatement of 1600 Grand Boulevard, Brooks Custom Polishing. Sanitary sewer lateral into existing 12-inch sewer main in Grass Island near the intersection of Perennial and Grand.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski,
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Motion to set the days of session, both work sessions and voting sessions, for the 2025 calendar year for the second and fourth Thursday evenings at 6:30 p.m. in the City Hall of the City of Menneson.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions?
So does that mean,
I'd like to clarify one thing on that.
okay,
The November meeting will occur, just like it did this year, on the Monday prior to Thanksgiving. And the December will occur, just like it is right now, on the Monday prior to Christmas. Those are the 2 days that really had conflict. Other than that, everything works fine.
So, does that mean one's a work session and one's a voting session, or they're both set work sessions and
What-
they can be a voting session, or are they both voting sessions?
They're both voting sessions, but the first one's gonna be a work session. We'll pay bills, and that's the only thing we'll pay as far as, voting on.
But we can do a voting session at a work session if we want to, the way
If
it's
we
advertised.
advertise it as such,
So nothing's gonna change.
nothing's gonna change.
Okay, that was easier to say, okay.
Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski,
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to approve Broadband Ready Communities Program Resolution and participate in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania application process.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski,
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to accept the retirement of Mark Coleman of the City of Menneson Street Department after 35 years of devoted service to the City of Menneson.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Would he stay if I said no? No, yes, I'm just, yes.
Councilman Chakowski,
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes. For anybody that's interested, I will offer a proclamation on his behalf at the work session next time.
Okay. Motion to pay QuickBooks license fee for the fiscal year 2025, which is due on December 29, 2024, in the amount of $3,827.69.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions?
Yeah, question.
Okay.
Is there a PO in for that? Cause I didn't see it.
I guess one will need to be put in.
Well, we put a PO in before we vote on it.
Well, can't do that. You need to vote on it, and we'll approve the PO when it goes through.
No, we don't do it that way. You put a PO in,
Then I have to call a special session again on Thursday.
for,
You just want to pay it with a PO, with the requisition system? That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I don't know.
again, that's our process. We're not gonna deviate from our process for nothing. Either that's the way we do it, or we don't do it. That's how things show up on agendas, unfortunately, and we go, what?
Well, so you got to know. Continue the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Wait, where are we on this?
He does not want to approve this motion. Nobody
point-
made a motion to table it, so we're going to continue with the motion.
My point I'm trying to make is
I understand your point, and that's
I'm
not a
explaining
problem.
this to Karen.
Okay?
She asked for an explanation, right, Karen? My concern or my problem about it was there a PO put in for this purchase, like everything else? And Ron said there wasn't.
I don't know. I didn't put one in.
Well, who's requesting it then? That's even worse. Somebody has to request a PO or a purchase for something, and then we approve it, council votes on it, and then it gets approved and it goes forward. That's the way the process runs. So my question would be is, who was putting a request? If there's no request for QuickBooks, I get the gravity of it's due December 29th and all that, but I'm also gonna sit there and stick by the rules that we all decided upon a year or two ago that says somebody puts a request in, then it gets approved. Once it's approved, then a PO is generated and it gets paid. That did not happen here. I'm not for reinventing the wheel well, this is a certain thing, and I'm not for that.
I don't have a problem with it one way or the other.
So that was my explanation. I'm sorry, Karen.
We just recently had this conversation, didn't we?
We did. So, again, I'm also concerned that, my question is, who's requesting this?
Linda,
Linda Matthews, yeah.
Then Linda should have put in a PRO, or somebody should have put a request in, or somebody should have done something, because we just don't approve things that we don't know about ahead of time.
But we can't approve a motion like this?
I'm
If
telling you, I'm not in favor of it because it circumvents the whole PO process.
I don't think
it
it
doesn't,
does, Tony.
we can put the PO in anyway, and it doesn't matter. You can table this if you would like, and we can generate the purchase order tomorrow. It can be approved. You can come back tomorrow night. You can sign.
I'm not coming back tomorrow night.
It's gotta be paid, either tomorrow night or Thursday. Exactly.
Ernie,
That-
I don't believe there was a PO,
Come
it
on,
was a
you-
motion.
It's a motion.
We don't use
If you
the
don't want,
motion
if you don't wanna
process-
use a motion, we
Right.
can put in a requisition. The requisition will need to be approved, and we need to get it paid before the end of the month. That's all there is to it. We don't have a lot of time. However you wanna do it, I don't care. We can table this.
Well, then, I would say that this gets revised to make a motion to pay QuickBooks license fee for the fiscal year of 2025, which is due on December 29th, in the amount of $3,827.69, as long as the PO is submitted by the end of business tomorrow.
Okay.
But I'm adamantly against circumventing things that we all agreed on.
Fine, can we make that change in the motion? Motion's been amended. Okay.
Wait a second.
Is there a second to the
Second.
amended?
Second.
Any questions?
So
Ca-
it's to
Call the
read-
roll.
Go ahead, Karen.
So it was amended.
It's amended.
It's gonna read that it's amended, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep left.
That's John's, that's GPS.
We
In
need
about
to
20
read it again
miles,
to our
take
refined.
exit 41 onto Pennsylvania
You have
Route
the
9.
amended motion, you have
We-
a second.
Yeah, we have a second. So-
Okay.
So call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes. So speaking of which, do you have any, like to make your motions, Tony?
Thank you, Mayor. Make a motion to pay the following invoices from the general fund in the amount of $112,198.78. All invoices are attached to this agenda's attachment A.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Any questions?
Sorry.
Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the recreational account in the amount of $619.50. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment B.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the liquid fuels fund in the amount of $197.75. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment C.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the line usage account in the amount of $22,972.10. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment D.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the grant fund in the amount of $3,916.51. All
there-
invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment E.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski,
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to approve the transfer of $66,426.95 from the general fund to payroll account for payroll.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski,
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion for a second reading and approval of advertising of ordinance 1269 of the City of Menneson, County of Westmoreland, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania appropriating specific sums estimated to be required for the purpose of the municipal government of the City of Menneson hereinafter set forth during the year of 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski,
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Make a motion for a second reading and approval of advertising the ordinance 1270 of the City of Menneson, County of Westmoreland, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, setting the tax rate for the City of Menneson at the year 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski,
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
And Mayor, I have the balances of the accounts as of this morning. American Rescue Fund is $45,141.80. Debt service is $783,981.18. Fire escrow is $21,482.40. Grant fund is $93,934.89. Healthcare fund is $3,925.34. Line usage fund has $682,256.15. Liquid fuels has $2,898.72. Parks fund has $33,648.56. Payroll fund has $11,198.39. Rec fund has $2,618.75. Refuge account has $32,747.22. And the general fund has $332,036.78. Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Lois, do you have your report, please?
Yes. The Streets Department report for November 2024. Empty garbage twice a week downtown, marked 28 PA1 calls. Cold patched several streets throughout the city and put up signs throughout the city. Cut city sidewalks and curbs around town. Picked up leaves, cleaned the streets with the sweeper, put up Christmas lights downtown, and helps the Parks Department as needed. That is my report, Mayor.
Thank you. John, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Honorable Mayor, members of council, administrative staff, citizens of Menneson, I will abstain from giving my report due to be behind the wheel at this time. I would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a joyous Kwanzaa, a Happy Hanukkah, and more importantly, a Happy New Year. I yield the floor, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Karen, do you have a report?
Yes, I have the Parks report for November 2024. Picked up the litter and the garbage and leaves in the park, cleaned the Civic Center and set up for events, finalized winterizing all the parks. R&D Waters removed the porta-johns from the soccer field, Shawnee Park, and the amphitheater, and helped the street department as needed, and that's my report.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to bring before council before we open it for public comment? This time I'll open the floor for public comment.
My name is Pino, 45 Monterey Drive, Menneson, 15062. I got a couple questions that I'd like to ask you. Whose ideal, or who's behind those trailers that they put up on the mother? Who was the ideal, who put that ideal into you guys' mind?
People
Who's
that,
behind the ball?
That is a community action program.
And what part did you guys play it into?
We verified that it met the ordinances.
Say that again?
We verified that it met the ordinances.
What is the ordinance on
That defines the setbacks, the type of structure that can be there, and that's about it.
that? It's also trailers, and they're
It
not.
doesn't have anything to do with
they're-
trailers.
Wait, let me finish. They're trailers, and they're not even handicap accessible.
Nobody said they had to be.
Okay, now, how much would their low income supposedly, right?
No,
So, well, let's say, what they're gonna be selling them for.
it depends on a person's income.
Okay, if a person of income makes 50 grand, just per se, what would they pay for?
I have no idea, but I think that's below the minimum salary you can have, minimum family income you can have, but I could be wrong.
So in other words, if a person pays $75,000 for one of those trailers, they will pay a different amount of money.
It's possible.
Would that be discriminated against one against the other?
Talk to HUD about it.
Well, I think Menneson, the people in Menneson should wake up, see what they're doing to our town, and take a ride down Motherwell and see the trash that they're putting in there. And they're planning on doing more. And the mayor says he doesn't play a part on it. Somebody else is. I just want them to be aware. Number 2, question. Delphonso went up the last 2 years, 10% increase on what we paid him per year. I hope you guys look into, yes, 10%, if you look at the numbers. So it's 20% in the last 2 years. I just hope that you guys understand that they shouldn't go no farther increase. They should stay with the member when they say they take the call, but they don't charge us. Well, you look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie, but liars do figure things out differently.
You sent a right to know request in for all my bills, yeah? Did you actually read them, or you just spouting off to me?
Still went up 20%.
I mean, the work's the work. Hold on.
20%.
You
All I'm
won't
saying
see
is-
anything on there that
All I'm
says
saying is
phone call to
20%.
the city of
It
Menneson.
went up 20%.
No.
And I'm saying to you, the citizens, I'm saying.
work's the
to
work, Pino.
anybody, Corpash could do that. Not you.
Mr. Corbell is not the city solicitor.
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
I'm not going behind your back and telling you.
You got any other comments you want to make?
Merry Christmas.
But same to you. You know, I know you don't mean it, and I don't mean it either.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
We are. Okay, the other part that I'd like to ask a question,
But I mean it, it did not, he may have went up 20% from what he charged last year, but budget-wise, the number was the same. I did the budget. It did not go up 20%. Get your
it
figures.
went 20% in the last 2 years from the previous year.
No, you need to get your facts. The facts
Well,
is,
you showed me
he
the facts.
used 20% more, we used him 20% more than we did this year, but he still did not go to the max of what it was budgeted for. And it hasn't happened in the last 3 years. So let's get our facts correct if we're gonna do things.
Explain to me what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, he spent 20% more of his time, which was billable, than he did the year before. But
Absolutely.
his budgeted number for what we allocated for him did not go up, and let's be clear about that.
Absolutely, it went up 20%.
It did not
Still
go
went
up 20%.
even though-
Bring out the-
even
bring
though
out
he
the
did-
budget.
Even though.
Bring
he
out
did-
the
even though
budget.
he did not
Okay,
go
come on,
up-
let's
We go by
move on.
figures. Do you wanna go by figures?
Move on.
No, I don't wanna hear you. Pino, you're wrong on this one. You're completely bogus wrong.
He didn't go up 20%.
He may have used 20% more than he did the year before.
He did.
Are you
But
saying
then-
are you saying I'm under budget?
Yes,
You know, I understand what you're saying,
that's what it is.
but I still want those 20%, I don't think it needs to go up. I know that he didn't meet the budget, I understand that.
Well, that needs clarified, because the way you're talking is, we increased the solicitor's budget 20%
No, that's
last
not-
year,
that's-
this
that's
year.
not- That's not what I said. I said
Okay.
it went up 20%.
So
The
what-
last 2 years.
So, but he
10%
would,
per year.
so say if he went up 30%, he still didn't even
I
come close to
understand.
his allocation.
Does that mean that he could go up every year even though you allocated more
No,
money?
that goes to show you that he's being very cautious in what he does, so it doesn't hit anything close to that. You should be thanking him for that, not getting
Thank you.
mad at him.
It's my tax dollar that is paying him. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think you just don't like me. So
Look,
That has nothing to do with the
When I
bill.
ask you a question,
That has
I'll
nothing to
ask
do
you a
with the bill.
question. He's supposed
You're
to be
talking,
answering.
you're talking about
He's
me
supposed to
though.
be
You're
yeah,
talking
you're
about
nothing
me.
to me.
You're nothing to me either.
Well, then what the hell-
You
I'm
know-
Come on,
paying
guys.
your
You
wages,
know,
though. I'm
your
paying
opinion of me does not matter to
I'm
me.
paying your wages. I'm the taxpayer, you're not.
My
In the
family
city
is.
of
My
Menneson.
family
I don't
is.
give a damn what
And
your
you're
family
sitting here
does.
saying I'm hurting
So
the
it's my
city.
family does too.
You think
All
I'm hurting my
saying, I'm
family?
paying your taxes.
I think you're full of nonsense.
Come on,
Oh, yeah?
guys, let's
I think
move
you're
on.
full of nonsense.
You got anything else you want to talk
Glad
about?
we agree.
Totally agree that you're full of baloney. That's all I can tell you.
I don't even like bologna.
Well, you look like one, but.
Oh, now we're gonna get personal? Why don't you have a seat?
No, I'm not. Well, what do you mean I get personal?
You just said I look like bologna.
Well, you say you don't like baloney.
Like, do you hear yourself?
Well, you don't like baloney,
I
right?
don't like bologna.
Well, I don't like you.
I don't, okay.
Well, let me ask you a question. One more. In the redevelopment authority, do you guys have the authority of having somebody appoint himself as the main man at the redevelopment, as the director of the redevelopment authority, without you guys voting on it?
We don't have any autonomy over them. They're an authority. They can do what they please to do to run the RDA. We do not. We appoint people, that's it. That's the end of it, just like the sewage. We appoint people, that's it. That's why they have look up authority on the dictionary.
You're basically saying that the redevelopment authority, they can appoint somebody as their executive director?
They can appoint anybody they want. They're an authority. That's sanctioned by the state.
The only thing they
state
can't do is
dictates it.
appoint a new member to their board.
Yeah, that has to come from council.
That comes from council. That's the only
That's
thing
the
that we
only
have.
thing we do.
I don't know. I'm not gonna, I'll question that on the road.
You could question, what, you could go to the state capitol and they're gonna tell you the same thing. That's where that's where law comes from, the state. Not Westmoreland County, it comes from the state.
I have an attorney that'll tell me that I'm right.
I'm sure he'll tell you everything, the same thing we're telling you, seriously.
You know, it's the holiday, I wait till after the holiday and then I get an answer. Then the other part that I just wanted to say, that was one question that I had. And then other than that, I think, you guys are going the wrong direction. I hope you guys go the right direction coming the new year and do something for the downtown area and build the downtown area like they should, because we don't have one. Okay? And whenever you're talking about blacktop in the streets and doing all the stuff that you say you're gonna do, I just hope you keep it in mind that is what you need to have been doing for the last 3 years that you have not. And as far as the Westmoreland County, you legislators and senators, all you have to look in Rostraver, the money that's dumped on there, and they don't dump anything to us. They give us trailers. It's totally uncalled for. And if you could tell me that you want your kid to live in a trailer where it takes 90 minutes for them baby to burn down, go ahead, put your kid in there. Yeah, that's all I can tell you.
Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas.
I hope different like you. I hope you have a lovely evening.
Okay, we got basic questions that keep being ignored. First, could you tell us, Del Ponto solicitor, where are we with the easement? Did you get any more answers from the railroad company?
We talked about that a week and a half ago.
Yeah, but you said that they're gonna be getting back to you, so I'm asking, did they, or did you make an attempt to get an answer?
When we hear from them, we'll deal with it. We haven't heard back from the railroad yet.
So we're gonna be behind the 8 ball. We're gonna wait for them to make the move.
Nobody's behind the 8 ball. The application was submitted for them to review the city's engineering.
Okay, and who's gonna pay these applications? There's 3 of them.
The city of Menneson,
And do we have the money for that, Tony?
part of the USDA project.
Okay, this one I'm kinda confused. Last month, you said we got $66,000, Tony, in the rescue, and today you said there's only 46,000? Where did the other 20,000 went?
18,000 of it went.
Where?
If you were paying attention to the firm that retrofitted one of the brand new trucks that we just got for salt and a plow.
So you took it out of there to get the truck.
to modify the truck.
Okay, then you were also trying to buy another 1 or 2 police cars. Where's that money gonna come from?
Nobody said I was trying to buy another police car. That was an LSA grant that was applied for that they're hoping to
Okay,
get.
did the grant go through yet?
It'll be next spring before we know.
It'll be in the
Under
spring.
consideration right now.
Okay, and then, how did the park people fund got 33,000? And how many does the city has for road improvements and repairs?
What is your question? I don't understand.
Well, he ran off that the park fund is like 33,000. And up at the road, do we have anything for the road repairs? The park has
Road
33,000.
repairs generally come out of CDBG.
So the whole progress of repairing roads is gonna be on one entity.
That's the way it's been for the last
It's been
10,
that way
15 years or
forever.
better.
Well, listen, so was slavery forever. We corrected that. Now, could we do something better? Have a general fund? You know, Pittsburgh has a 10% they allocate for road repairs.
They're the city of Pittsburgh. We're the
Okay,
city of
well, how
Madison.
comes we don't have something similar?
10% of our budget would be, our budget is 4.2 million, Jerry?
Thereabouts.
Yeah, you
4.3?
got about 400-some thousand.
Well, we get about 300,000 from CDBG.
Yeah, but only 70% could be used for roads.
Yes, we have, and it's been going right into repairing some road or paving a road or doing something.
Well, not too many pavings.
You have to do one project, have to do another project, you never do a whole project.
Because you can't probably finish the whole project because of costs. I wish I had $1 million in the budget that could say, let's go out and we can start the roads. But that ain't gonna happen.
Well,
And
what's
we have
gonna,
to find, we also have an LSA grant application out looking for the Astro Zapper. I'm not Astro Zapper, I'm
Asphalt
sorry,
Zapper.
Asphalt Zapper, I say that all the time. Okay, to help fix some of the roads that are asphalt and can be repaired in sections. Section repairs are better than no repair at all. So yes, we're trying to address that.
well, how much money have you dumping into the road repairs so far? How much money went there? It's less than 33,000 for the park.
It was 280,000, wasn't it?
Than we did for Third Street this year.
Okay,
Did that come out of the city,
CDBG.
okay, but it didn't come, nothing out of the city,
The city doesn't have the allocation or the tax base to do that.
Well, I brought it up last year, the mayor, I even asked him to put some money on the side and let it grow each year.
The problem is, we don't have any
take
money
care
to
of
set on the side. That's the big problem.
You can't grow something from nothing.
Yeah, but you gotta make an attempt somehow. We can't just be knocking down buildings and 95% of the public have cars.
That's the reason why we
that go
depend on
bum,
things like
bum, bum.
LSA and CDBG and anything else we can do. We're trying to get some money from PennDOT to do Parente too, but it just
Okay.
takes time.
It was that new firm that you hired July, the RSB. What have they done?
RVE.
Yeah, RBE.
They're working on some grants for us.
Well, you've been telling me that for 8 months now.
It takes time. It might take another year before we get
It'll
them.
take another year. You know what's gonna happen between now and March?
If you got a
this
better way to
weather
get grants
here-
done, let me know, but that's the way
This
it works.
weather is gonna make it look like a moon landing here in Menneson
Yeah.
with all the potholes. Now, again, I'm gonna ask you again, are you doing anything to bring industry in?
Were you here Wednesday?
Yeah,
Was that
you
nothing?
didn't talk about any companies coming in. All you had was a guy who says he likes to put a retirement building or something.
And we got the $75,000 for economic development. What is that about?
Well, no,
You gotta pay attention,
That's
Ernie.
only words.
You gotta pay
It's
attention.
only words. I don't see no companies.
It
get
takes
behind
time
it.
to make things happen.
Well, we paid over 12 years 4 times. This will be the 4th time to have a comprehensive plan.
We're not doing another comprehensive
Well,
plan.
it's similar. Because all you guys are doing is just talking
Okay.
about what we're gonna do, but nobody's backing it up. with money.
That's what $75,000 is. It was in the newspaper.
Yeah, we were here Wednesday, you weren't here Wednesday.
It was in the newspaper, and it was also on the webpage.
Here's something else too. Nobody from council except for Karen and the mayor. Why, if you're gonna have a town meeting, you guys are sitting there
The
getting
purpose isn't
paid.
to have another council meeting. If we're having another council meeting, we do.
Well, you
That
just
wouldn't-
you wrote in your thing that it's gonna be both, a council meeting and a work session. That's what you're saying, you're on both sides of the fence.
Hold on a second. Go ahead,
If
John.
I'm correct, Joey, correct me if I'm wrong, but not all of us can attend that because it would violate the Sunshine Act.
Yeah, it depends on if it was
Yeah, but wait.
advertised for a council meeting.
Yeah, you guys advertise both, it's a
No,
council meeting and a
no.
work
We
session.
advertised a town hall. We cannot all come to a town hall
You
and meet
just,
the state law.
you just approved today, you're gonna have both.
Both at
Two
specific
different things,
times,
Ernie, two different things.
two different things. We
The
had.
town hall was the mayor's town hall.
The town hall is not one of our work sessions or voting sessions.
Well, that's how it was read, that they could be both a town hall and a work session at the
No.
same time.
No.
Aren't you on the committee for Menneson, city council?
What?
The planning commission should have been here, city council should have been.
Why should anybody be here?
Then what's the purpose of getting together?
It may be our town, but it was a town hall. It was time for the people to come and talk about it. Okay.
They don't know, so how they gonna help if they don't know it?
Okay, now I got something else.
Backwards for them.
Maybe.
Let's just figure out, let's just, Mayor, if I-
Trying to bring us all together.
John, what did you say, John?
I'm just saying, I think we should probably correct some of the misleading things. Again, it's a town hall. It would be a violation if myself, Lois, and Tony would show up if Karen decided to be there, or vice versa. It's a town hall.
They read it, it is both. They said it was both.
No way. Nobody said it was both. Only you're
That's
saying
all
that.
I heard.
Nobody said that.
I know what the violation would be.
It's,
That there would be a quorum of council, not at a council meeting.
it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah,
still a
it's a
quorum.
work session, you're not voting, so why can't they show up?
Residents want to discuss with the city. It's not a, oh my God.
You're such a legal expert when I have a lawyer here. I don't understand what the problem
we-
is.
Okay, one other
Let's
aspect.
continue.
Okay, one other aspect. You made a statement that those trailers up there do not need to be accessible for handicapped people.
Or is everybody's house in town handicap accessible?
Yeah, but that's not really a house. That's a project. It's a government project. It's like building a senior center or something. Yeah, that's not a particular ownership of a house. But the big thing is this: you got when you did the civic center, you made sure they followed code for handicap accessible.
That's a
But
different
here-
thing.
But okay, that's a public thing, and this thing here is the same thing. You guys,
No, it's not a public thing.
Well,
It's
the
a private
Westmoreland-
venture.
The Westmoreland County did
It's
it.
still a private venture by
West-
Westmoreland Community Action. You gotta understand that.
That's not a private entity. That's
It
a
is
taxpayer.
it is an entity. It's not a taxpayer entity either.
What?
Said the last meeting or meeting before that, that somebody from Westmoreland County or from that outfit that was putting them together should be here and explain what they are.
They've been here a couple times before.
But we never got a straight answer, and you know that. We never got.
They gave you a very honest answer. You just don't listen. Pay attention.
No, they never said how much they would be if somebody wanted to buy them outright. They didn't say where they got the land from. They didn't say anything. They didn't say what they
Well,
said
okay,
They said
okay.
something and did something else.
This is something we're just going on and on and on about. Let's understand.
No, because I think it makes no sense.
They're all on vacation right now. It's, well, it may be, but they're all on vacation today. I know that for a fact. They,
Trying to figure out how they're gonna handle that.
it may be. Who knows? Is there anything else you have?
Yeah, I got one last question for Tony. Okay, Tony, you spot out all these figures. Is this
I made 'em
before
up before I came in.
or after those figures you told us how much are in each bank account? Is that before or after these allocations you made tonight? It's after. So when you gave us totals, it was after the fact, before you even approved it.
No. Don't twist my words. You asked me what the numbers meant versus the bills that we just paid. And I said that the number is after after the fact. The bills are already deducted out of these totals.
No, I didn't hear that. It was after the bills were deducted. You just gave us
Okay,
total.
now you know. Thank you.
It ain't just for me, it's for the taxpayers who put you guys in there, and we're not getting
You're not getting what?
a clear understanding of anything.
I don't know.
The bottom line, Ernie, is we're gonna survive this year. One more time. We're gonna survive this
Well,
year.
I
Here it
didn't
is,
say-
here it is, the end of the year. We're gonna end the year on a positive note. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, because the city has done well. They've provided the police protection, they provided all the infrastructure you need.
We still got a big dope problem in the city, and we still got people fighting at the high school. So where are you drawing the line that we're doing well?
You're here to represent everybody. We're doing well.
I'm here to represent the taxpayer.
Okay, let's move on or something. Thank you. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Likewise.
Ed LaFever, Keystone Drive. I just have a couple comments from an article in the paper. I noticed in the city of Pittsburgh, the city law requires a reserve fund large enough to cover 10% of expenses. Then it says, by the mayor's administration, reckoning at the end of 5 years, it would have enough in reserve to cover just 10.07% of expenses if all goes well. I remember reading an article when the, in 1923, when the auditor was here. And what he recommended, see if I could find it. 2023. 2023. What he recommended at that time in this article, Cipher, I guess. Yeah. This paragraph, he says, and I wonder if the city followed through on this. The auditor said that the city should aim for a fund balance between 10 and 15% of the total current budget. It currently sits at about 2% of the total budget. Cipher said the city should set aside a goal of $230,000, which would be at 5%. For $480,000 or better, that would be 10%. Now, since that time, has at least 10% been set aside, just like the city of Pittsburgh?
No, that's 10% less roads we need to pave, so we can set this money aside. It's 10% less police that we need to have, so we can set this money aside. It's 10% of everything if we're gonna set 10%
No,
aside.
of the budget.
Where do you think this pays? What do you think the budget pays for? It pays for all those things. We can turn off the street lights. Maybe that'll save us a couple
Well,
percent.
No,
Maybe we can turn off.
but maybe I'm
I'm just telling you.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding this.
If you don't have money to save, you don't have money to save. That's what it boils down to.
Well, for example, if the
You
city of Pittsburgh has,
Well, we're not the city of Pittsburgh.
no, I'm saying it has a law that
We
requires.
do not have that law. That's a Pittsburgh law.
Will you let me speak?
No, you're not making
No,
any sense.
I'm trying to make sense if you would just let me speak.
Okay, try.
Now, what is wrong with that law so that you protect the city by having this reserve of 10%? So
Nothing's wrong with that law.
Well,
We
if
don't have it,
nothing's-
the law.
Why can't the city, for example, an old pharmacist told me a long time ago, his father practiced pharmacy.
Have you looked at the current budget?
No.
Well, take a look at it. It's public. I think there's some on the table over there. get a copy of the current budget, and you look through it and you say, we're gonna cut this by 10% so we can save 10%. You just tell me where you'd like to cut the
No,
money.
this isn't a cut of 10%. This is a reserve of 10%.
How do you reserve it if you don't have the money to reserve? You gotta have the money to reserve.
Look at it a simple way. Look at this
If
simple
I
way.
give you $10 and you have $10 of bills, how are you gonna give me $1 back for the 10%? The only way you can do that is if you save $1 somewhere.
If I had $10 and I put aside 10 cents for every dollar, I would have some savings.
That's right.
So why can't the city
Then
do
go over
something
there,
like
pick up the budget, and try to do that with that budget.
Because the $10 you wanna save out of,
You gotta
okay?
come somewhere.
No, I wouldn't say 10 cents out of every dollar.
No, wait, let me finish. The $10 where you wanna get the 10 cents from, the problem with your equation is $10 isn't paying the bills. $35 is what we owe, but we have $10. So you tell me where you want me to come up with this difference, when we're barely making it as it is. Come on, give me some wisdom here, because I'm not grasping it.
No,
No,
I-
you say stuff in the paper and you don't even know what you're talking about, and I've just
Yeah,
about
no,
had
no, no.
enough of it. You don't know what you're talking about. If I don't have the money to pay the bills as they are, how do you expect us to save money and put it away? Tell everybody, you're on TV, let's go. I'm tired of it.
What are
We
you-
kill
what-
ourselves
what-
to
whoa,
make
whoa,
us.
whoa, whoa,
No,
what
no,
are-
whoa, whoa, whoa.
what are you tired
We came
of?
out for $300,000 in the black. Have you been here the last couple
are-
of years
well,
to
are-
see
are
the
you-
auditor's
are you-
report?
are you-
Have you been here to see the
Have
auditor's
you-
report?
are you-
Oh, I don't care about that.
That's
I
Cipher
know
and
what
Cipher.
I'm dealing with.
No,
I'm
that's
the one
Cipher and
running it.
Cipher. That was Cipher and Cipher
Cipher and
suggested.
Cipher said we should put that. That's a benchmark. You're right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, what happened in 2024? What did they say?
I'm trying to pay the bills. Do you realize the 332?
Well, maybe we need a CPA.
Okay,
Maybe you need to understand basic math. That
No,
if
I
have
understand. No,
$100 in
I
bills-
understand basic
No,
math.
I don't think you do.
No, well,
because if I have $100 in bills and I got $50 to pay them, where you want me to come up with the other $50? Or you want me to save 10% of that $50 that I don't have? I'm tired of it.
well,
For the last 3 years, this city came in the black. And I'm pissed. You better believe I am, because we busted our ass to come out in the black. If you were here watching and you read Cipher and Cipher's
What?
no, Cipher and Cipher's
no.
report,
Why are you going over this cliff when all I did was?
because you're going over the cliff continuously.
No, I am not. I quoted from two sources.
And I didn't say anything
my
wrong
s-
with those
no,
sources.
no.
But I'm
My
telling
simple
you-
question
Okay,
was,
come on, let's-
why
come
can't
on.
it be
Let's-
done?
Let's wrap this
You
up.
are just a blinded person that just
You-
doesn't grasp it.
Well, you certainly are, because you're no CPA either. And that's what this board needs. This is what this council needs. This is what every city
That's why we have
administration.
Cipher and
You need a
Cipher.
CPA that sits here at the council and takes care of all the funds,
And
who
listen-
looks it over and makes everything as kosher. Now, let me go on to something else.
Please do.
Thank you. You know, Mayor, I was looking at back in, again, 2023. At that time, the city received 15 million in loans from the USDA. And one of those loans, let's see, and once those loans are spent and closed out, the USDA will give the city another 4 million grant. And then Menneson also received a PennVest loan of 2.3 million and also PNC Bank. These millions of dollars, at what point are we at with the spending of this money? Now, 15,
We currently have about $9.5 million of the $15 million booked. The rest of that is still in progress, and it's very close to being finished. They're already starting to plan how they're going to use that $4 million that they get as a grant when that money is expended. Engineering, WEC. No, none at all.
so let me just sum up then what you said, or you sum up. So we have 15 million in loans from USDA, and then we got 4 million in grants from
Right.
USDA. Okay, also, there was 2.3
That,
million.
that's
Penn
phase
Vest.
4, and phase 4 is completed.
Pardon me?
Phase 4 has been completed. We're trying to close that project out at this time.
So all these loans, what do you estimate is remaining?
As far as the work that's left,
No, the money part.
well, there's basically $5.5 million of the USDA loan still yet to be booked.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean the work hasn't been done. It just hasn't been booked yet. It hasn't, haven't got the bills in for it.
Mhm.
Today, we approved a $3.9 million change order.
Okay.
But when that gets all booked, they will start tapping into the grant money.
Okay, so
And by the way,
4
they were
million
able to complete all that we defined phase 3 with that $15 million. They've done an exceptional job.
Well, again, I lost track. At what percentage was this borrowed?
1.125%.
And then I hear 6% on the 500,000.
There's a big difference. One's a 6-month loan, the other's a 40-year loan. 1.125% over a 40-year period. One's financed by the USDA, the other's financed by a local bank. That's very subject to local bank rates. We got that 1.125% loan when loans were very cheap.
And how do you go about paying back the loan?
Once it gets transferred over from PNC to the USDA, we have payments of $115,000 twice a year for each of 2 loans. So a total of $200,000 twice a year.
And you estimate how many years?
40 years.
That's not an estimate, that's
Yeah,
set in stone.
that's set in stone. That's just happens. That's the contract. That's what we all signed up for. And if you paid attention today we recorded $63,000 from last month from line usage. It's that line usage money that pays for it.
But also that line usage money, there isn't a bottom to it.
No,
That also has to be paid back, does it not?
no, line usage money is what you pay for your sewage bill. If you can, but I want to get this wrapped up pretty quick. You've already had one opportunity to talk.
Only an easy question that I maybe Tony could answer. How many people don't pay taxes and garbage here, and then we try to accommodate them?
Garbage is about 300-some thousand.
Well, that's not necessarily true. That $300,000 included mostly the property that's been through the judicial system or blighted, removed.
But still a total. It was still a total
Yeah,
$300-some thousand.
it's no longer owed to us, what I'm saying.
And how much money do people owe in taxes in the city?
That's something the treasurer would have to tell you.
Pardon?
That's something the treasurer would have to tell you.
There is money that is owed, right?
I would assume so, yes.
Well, let me ask you one last question, then I'll gather it up. When's the last time that we asked the Coke plan an increase so they could pay us more money? I mean, they were willing to put $1 million, $3 million in Clerton. Why isn't someone goes there and talks to them and tell them to maybe give us some money to get out of the hole?
That would be nice, and I've had many discussions with them along those lines, but it's easier said than done.
Well, the reason that I say that, because if everybody paid their taxes and their garbage like they're supposed to,
We'd be a little bit better off.
Pay their fair share, maybe where he's talking about the 10% money put aside, it would work. But we can't make deals like we do every month because someone, like the garbage deal. You can tell those people they only gotta pay $1 a month, and they will not pay. Those that don't pay their bill, they don't pay their bill regardless of what you think. And those that don't pay the taxes, regardless of what you think, they don't pay the taxes. Am I correct? So they gotta find a way to collect that money.
So when you get an opportunity, either go to Greensburg or go to the website and look at judicial sales. In January the 14th, there is a Westmoreland County judicial sale. This is for property that people did not pay their taxes on. And what they're doing is they're taking that property away from those people and saying, you don't pay your taxes, we're gonna sell this property to somebody that will.
But who gets the money?
Well, we do when it gets put back on the tax rolls.
Who gets the money when they sell?
That pays, the only money that they collect is money that it took to get it to that point. They don't get rich off this either,
We don't get the money, right?
nor do they.
That's your answer. I said, what do we do prior for the county to take over, to collect that
It is
money?
important that people pay their taxes, is all I can say. It is very important.
Majority is people like, people that pay their bills on time, they'll always
Right.
pay their bills. But there's the same people, which is the minority, that don't pay their garbage or their taxes.
And if they don't do that enough times, they will lose their place of residence.
Well, that's like sort of a threat. It'll never happen because.
It's happening on January the 14th. There is a whole list of houses happening
On
to.
the garbage deal, you were trying to make a deal for people, make it easy for people to pay their garbage.
Yep.
And they end up doing nothing.
You're right.
So, I mean, they gotta find a way to collect that cash or have someone to collect it. The other one is.
We're trying to
maybe
figure out how much
somebody that
cash there
knows
really
how
is
they're
out there to
doing
collect.
And talking to this Cook plan to give us some money other than paying the little amount of money that they're paying, but they're willing to buy Clairton at one point and give them 10 million bucks. All we're asking for a little bit, right? They should be able to do that. I know that from my back window in my house, I can see every night nothing but dust coming out. Fire and dust. You go and look at it and you say, yeah, that's garbage. Okay? So all I'm saying to you, again, you gotta collect your money, you gotta quit making deals. If they can't make the damn payment, then make the deal for Menneson, not that the county takes them over.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. The meeting is ended. Thank you. Everybody have a very wonderful Merry Christmas.
Thanks,
And I
John.
truly mean that.